Hey everybody, I wanted to talk about what's going on with AVGN's channel, the movie that James made in 2014 roughly, and has this happened on other channels on YouTube? So a lot of times things that happen with YouTubers, it's not infrequent or systemic only to one channel. It's typically trendy. So it'll happen with one channel, and then the same thing will happen with other folks as well. So if anybody is familiar with Corridor, they do a really great podcast that's available on YouTube and various other media. And the Corridor crew, man, they do a really good job of capturing what's going on and answering questions. I really like it. So I'm also a really big fan of Fredu or Rocket Jump. It's a different channel that actually worked with the Corridor crew for quite a while. And all of a sudden, the channel just kind of started to evaporate. So as of last year, the only video was an animation that was really out of character for the Rocket Jump channel. And Corridor goes into explaining why this really happened. And also there's an interview with Freddie Wong himself. And he talks about how Hollywood's really hard to break into. It is kind of an antiquated business process. He talks about unions. He actually signed up for a camera union, and it takes forever to staff and actually get funding. That's one of the hardest pieces.
We did a lot of stuff on YouTube. We did a lot of stuff web series wise. We set records for crowdfunding. We did a web series and blah 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 blah. Who cares? Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Sorry. Here's the hard lesson that I've learned over the last few years, which is context is everything. If we decided to split off back in 2012, let's say, and there's an alternate version of us, right? And they're also having a podcast right now. Alternate versions of us, where we all decided to go down the direct-to-DVD horror movie route, which we were all embroiled in back in around 2009, 2010. Mm-hmm. And we decided to all just be like, fuck it, let's make movies, feature films that are cheap and can turn a profit. Those alternate reality versions of ourselves are having a better career in Hollywood right now than us. Because the fact is, when people look at your past work, they look at our stuff and they're like, oh, you guys have done some stuff on YouTube? What? YouTube, the thing where that guy recorded a video of a dead dude? Oh, YouTube, the thing my kid watches, and it's like there's that, what, PewDiePie, and he like talks, what?
Yeah, the stigma's never left.
The stigma's never left.
So it really kind of shows you what happened with AVGN. So after James made the movie, it didn't do well, it wasn't received well. He restructured the channel, and next thing you know, Kyle and Bootsy are gone. And this is because James realized that, hey, I'm probably not going to be working in Hollywood anytime soon, making big blockbusters, if ever. So now you have kind of what's going on with AVGN, and you also have the side projects that James is really passionate about. So I'm going to go into that a little bit later too. But just going into the Corridor crew, they actually have other videos that are really cool. And I would catch myself thinking, oh, I wonder why that happened. Well, they answer it. And there's even a guy that left on the Corridor crew. Well, he was originally with Fredu and Rocket Jump, and he straight up just left. And he was the computer guy, like really good 3D graphics and all that kind of stuff. His name was Brandon. And people really wondered where he went. So what does that sound like? It kind of sounds like Bootsy.
The moment that I was done with the Freddie W channel was the moment that we had trailers for the actors on the set of VGHS. I walked in the trailers to go get the actors, and I looked around and I'm like, this isn't me anymore. This isn't what I'm aspiring to. This is not what I want to make. And it's not that I don't think that can be good. It's just a completely different avenue for that. That's like a fundamental fork in what we're trying to create.
So there's no animosity. Brandon just left because he felt the channel was going in a different direction than what he wanted to do. It was going more toward filming shows. And the funny thing is, that kind of went toward the wayside because of how hard Hollywood is. But then Brandon went to make video games. What's Bootsy doing? He's doing more of his music because he felt like after Screenway took over, it wasn't really what he was passionate about. But the problem is with AVGN and Cinemassacre, they're not being candid about this. So you see some Reddit posts, but you don't really see a Q&A or a really well done podcast. And so people just sit there wondering, which I think AVGN needs to, it might be a little bit late at this point, to be honest. It really is never too late, but it's so far along that people have kind of just made their decisions. And plus, there probably is bad blood between Bootsy and Mike. But at the same time, you can see how with Corridor, if you're a fan, they had some grade A content delivery up on YouTube, and so did Freddie Wong's channel on his various names that he used. But when you look at what happened, really there's a pattern. There's systemic issues that people run into in terms of creative differences. And with Brandon's case, he just decided to leave. So do yourself a favor if you haven't. Take a look at some of those podcasts and come to your own conclusions. Would AVGN need something like that? Would it be helpful? I think it would be. That way you're not hearing from somebody completely different to the subject why a certain event transpired. Often Corridor will actually have the person of note saying why they left or why this happened or what their plan is based on their work in Hollywood. So it's really, really great. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Give me some more ideas. And otherwise, take care.